Hello. You know Sean? So, in just over a month at the time I started this project, I'm filming this intro at the end, I'm going to be hosting a little drag show beginning of June. And I want to make myself a new gown. I also want to make myself a two-piece suit. But we'll see if I have time for that. So I recently finished, finally finished after like a year, an Edwardian corset for myself. So we're gonna go full Edwardian, you know? And so the next thing I need to make is a petticoat. Excuse me. I'm gonna be doing a clever little trick here. I'm gonna be like double timing it. So I need to make a petticoat. I'm going to be drafting it myself, and because I'm drafting it myself, I'm going to be need to make a mock-up. Now, skirt patterns and petticoat patterns in the Edwardian era are pretty gosh darn similar. So I think I'm just going to use the same pattern for the skirt and for the petticoat. So the petticoat mock-up is also the skirt mock-up. Okay, now, more petticoats means more floof. So, if the petticoat mock-up works, I'll make it out of white cotton broadcloth instead of muslin, so that it's a bit stronger, bit more weight. Hi, baby. So, if it works, I'll just finish it, turn it into an actual petticoat. Then I'll make another one in black, because if you're wearing dark gowns, you should wear a black petticoat. And then I'll make the gown, and then I'll have a white petticoat, a black petticoat, and a gown, and they'll be great. Today we're making the petticoats. Okay, so we're going to be using the pattern drafting guide from this book. Fucking bullshit. Turn of the century, authentic something. It's a book. So let's get to pattern drafting on the floor, and let's see how that goes. Okay, so the first step was, of course, to draft out the pattern. I could have ordered a commercial pattern, but I like pattern drafting. It's fun. It's a lot of math, but I enjoy math because I'm a nerd. So the first step was to draw out a center front line. That was the length that I wanted. I believe I did 45 inches, which is a rough estimate of what I was from my waist to the floor in my boots. And my boots have my dogs have a 2-inch platform on them. And all of my American Duchess heels have about a 1.75 inch heel on them, and that's what I would probably be wearing, because Edwardian. And then I had to mark up, I believe I can't remember, you have to mark up like some portion of your waist, and then find a pivot point. And then, because these are basically just circle skirts, so I then had to get a rope that I have for, and use that to mark out the hem curve. So I just secured it at that pivot point, and then pulled on it, and the paper came curling up on itself. So I had to go and secure that back down. I think I just placed it under like a bottle or some like Clorox wipes or something. Like a bottle of Clorox wipes. And then I put my pencil through the rope and tried and failed to get the right tension, but eventually I got it, and was able to mark out that curve. There we go. And then I just needed to find along the hip line, and I marked out curves along the hip and the waistline as well. And then on the hip curve, I had to find the proper hip measurement, half measurement, because this is in half, and that ended up making it about a third, I believe it is, a third of a circle, but this draft, being manual, includes instructions for going up to probably about just under a half circle, but I just went with a third circle, and then I marked out that center back line, and then I just had to split it into 3 different panels so that it would all fit on my silk. So there's a center front panel that's on the fold, 2 side panels, and 2 back panels. So it's about a 5-gore skirt there. Then I just had to make a mock-up. Like I said, I was making this out of white cotton broadcloth. So you can see I'm marking out, I believe this is the back panel, marking this out with some pencil, and then I decided to do what I usually do, which is just mark out the net pattern and then just roughly cut some seam allowance. And then I serge all of the edges of the side seams, or of the long seams, not just the side seams, and then sew them together here on my machine. And as we can see here, excuse me, hey, sir, excuse me, sir, hey, down in front. Ay. Anyway, so I sewed them all together and then gave each of those seams a nice press. Okay, so I've done a quick fitting with just the actual like gores. Like here she is. Look at her. She's beautiful. So now we need to cut out with facing and waistband and some hem tape. Because now it works as a mock-up where you can turn it into an actual petticoat. So for the waistband, I'm wanting to do a 2 pieces of 2-inch wide by 18.5 on the fold. So it's 37 by 2 inches when it's unfolded, and then you sew the 2 together. So there's a seam along the top. It's not like folded over. So with 1/2-inch seam allowance, it's a 1-inch waistband by 36, which is my waist measurement. And then for the plackets, I want to do the facings. I want to do a 2-inch, so I have a 3, and then by 9, because the slit is 8 inches, so that it can fit over my dump truck. So I think I'm gonna rip off a 4-inch strip and then cut it down into what I need.
To advance a conservative social and political agenda, and all the air quotes science is just window dressing for that agenda, and that's what we're going to talk about next. So then, the politics of the bell curve, and I'd like to first talk a bit more about why the bell curve was.
So some of you may have already made the discovery that I just made. I made that little diagram that I showed you a couple nights ago. Completely forgot that, where'd it go? Wait, no, I'm stupid, hold on. So, okay, so what happened was, I said I was going to cut out 2 by 37-inch rectangles that I would sew together and make a waistband. And I ripped off a 4-inch strip of cotton, which you may assume I was going to rip down into 2 inch strips for the waistband, but I didn't. Instead, I ripped off another 4-inch strip. Oh, I'm an idiot. So now I have, this is a 2-inch waistband though, right? 2-inch or, no, this is a 3-inch. I don't want a 3-inch waistband, I want a 1-inch waistband. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? That's better. I then had to, I had the white petticoat, and then I went and made the exact same thing in black, just without some of the mess ups I did, and I didn't end up, on the white petticoat, I did, a bias hem, so I sewed on some bias tape, but that took me so long that I decided instead to just serge the bottom with the black petticoat. And the only footage that I have of me making the black petticoat is the following. Anyway,